Welcome to Therapy Unlocked, where we discuss all things therapy from an unlocked perspective. I'm Emily Huffman, and I'm here with Katrina.
Hello, Katrina, Mondragon, licensed professional counselor. I am a professional, but not your professional, so nothing we're going to talk about today should be taken as medical, legal, or otherwise advice. This podcast is purely for education and amusement. That is it. That's the disclaimer.
Education, amusement, and because I would like to be famous. So please like, subscribe, follow, engage. And welcome to Therapy Unlocked. I want to talk about ego death. I want to talk about motivational speaking. I want to talk about what this process has been like for starting both the pod and also then starting my own brand and launching the Final Girl Energy branding. So if you are just now joining us, we are Therapy Unlocked. We unlock the mind one conversation at a time. My name is Emily Huffman, and this is my highly qualified sister. So qualified, they credentialed her twice. This is Katrina Mondragon. She is your licensed therapist and your therapeutic opinion. And I, the personality hire before you, am your unqualified opinion. And together, we try to unlock the mind one conversation at a time. So this is our first ever recording in person instead of on Zoom.
We're in the same space.
In the same space, petting the dog that we frequently share. Doing that whole thing. And we are Therapy Unlocked. So many who may be joining us probably know me from the live streaming.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I'm your Final Girl Energy. I'm your Final Girl M. And I like to say that I am a final girl, meaning that I have survived everything that has come at me up into this point. However, I'm lying. And I am bold and brave in my declaration at this point in time in my life that, go ahead and lie. I like lying. Lying is fun. I like lying. Yeah, I think it's great.
I think everything depends. And that was probably my favorite answer in psychology school. They asked us a question, and I always knew the answer was, it depends on the situation, the context, what's going on, the factors involved. But did I ever tell you how I got started doing the podcast in 2021?
I know, but you don't. No, please tell me more.
So I was a little bit nervous to get started, and I didn't know how to put myself out there and broadcast and actually speak to a camera. And when this first started, I didn't have an awesome co-host. It was just me and my face and my voice, and me extemporaneously speaking, sometimes reading. But basically, I went on live every single day. I committed to 2 full months of going on Facebook Live, and I did that. I did that again and again and again, and that excitement or that anxiety that I had about projecting myself into the public eye became excitement. So now I still have butterflies, but it's like I get to record. I get to be out in the public eye. It's not so much a, oh my God, what are they going to think of me if they hear me? It's a, oh, what are they going to think of me if they hear me? Comment.
What are they going to think of you if they hear you? There's that. Sometimes I will get 5 likes on something that otherwise I would have kept to myself. Like, why is it always about going viral, though? Why isn't it about the 5 people that heard the message that I was trying to put out there, and it resonated with them, and it impacted them, and then they did something with it? That has been my experience with going live as well.
I would rather resonate with a few 100,000 than have 1 billion views.
I will reduce it even further. If 10 people see my video and 1 person walked away from it having had, what is my point if I'm not trying to give someone a reaction, right?
Mm-hmm.
What am I on here making content for? Like, I don't know that you should be making content unless you have a purpose. I don't know that everybody has to have a niche, but what is the point of sitting here trying to unlock the mind one conversation at a time if we aren't making someone think
or feel? You mentioned that emotional reaction. If somebody's scrolling and something makes you angry, I don't know if you know this, but statistically speaking, people are more likely to engage if they don't like you.
That's why in our intro I say I love a hater and I love a lover. You know what? You know who's guaranteed to comment more than anybody else? Your haters. Man, your haters aren't just your motivators. They're your top fans. They're your top engagers. And that brings me to the live stream again, which is that I found the same thing you found. Going on live, putting myself in front of everyone on a regular basis was that, one, the things I was insecure about cease to really matter when they are constantly available and on display. You realize most people don't notice them. Or care. There have been times I posted something and I'm like, I posted Penta's walk. He's a wrestler because, I love my wrestling. And he has a crazy entrance, just a crazy walk. And I had challenged myself, or I had told myself it was time to flip every single insecurity I had completely upside down and eradicate it. Okay. And I told myself that. And then I woke up having dreamt about doing Penta's entrance for the WWE. And I set my camera up and I recorded it and I posted it. And I was then terrified because I fell asleep for a while, like 14 hours. And then I opened my phone. I was like, oh, right, I did post that in my bra after I woke up in the middle of the night with very little forethought or practice, literally none. I posted on the internet, the actual internet where mean people live. No one was mean. No one was mean.
That's something else that people don't always know about the World Wide Web, is that they're not all haters out there. Sometimes you can find a community.
You can find a community. You can find the people who want to see you.
Yes.
And we talked about that the other day. You can find people who want to see you. And I think where most people screw up on that. And there's people sitting here watching this going, nobody wants to see me. Wrong. You don't know how to market yourself. That's it. I really feel like where most people go wrong, where they are trying to make the content, they are posting the content, they are posting their drafts, they are not marketing themselves correctly.
Marketing makes a difference, yeah.
You have to tag those videos out. You have to go in, you have to find your audience. You have to put in twice as much work as your audience has to put in to find you.
You have to walk into stores and ask them if they'll put the podcast on their TV. And then sometimes they say yes.
And then sometimes they say yes. And then sometimes they say yes. You have to go on live and listen to 700 comments in a row that say 360, 360, 360, 360. And then you'll find the one person that goes, my favorite wrestler. Oh, you want to talk about favorite wrestlers? I want to talk about favorite wrestlers. That sounds great. Man, the jokes, the shticks, the bits that I have come up with to deal with those boring periods, those dry periods in comments. But it's all worthwhile when we get to the part where people are in my sphere with me.
Right. And they're engaged and they're folding their laundry and you're in their ear because it's an entertaining thing to have.
That's true. Everybody comes for a different reason too. That's another thing you find when you put yourself out there very publicly is some people come because they like the sound of the voice. Some people come because they want to talk about wrestling. Some people come because they want to talk about grief or mental health.
Some people will watch this video and some people will only listen to the audio, and that's okay. If you listen to the audio, that's cool. You're not missing a whole lot but us waving our arms around.
Right, right. Speaking of arms, I mean, this drives me crazy. And that's what we were talking about before I pushed record. I don't like the way that looks. I was just flapping my arm at the camera.
Have you ever heard it called bingo wings?
I have not.
Because when you're playing bingo and you hold up the little paddle.
Yeah. I have lost more than half my body weight now.
Wow. I'm sorry.
Thank you. Anybody hearing and following along at home, that is the appropriate reaction when you don't know. No, she does know. I'm chronically ill. I like to say this is a body by bad. I am a baddie because I was put together badly. And that's the way that goes. But all of the excess skin that was left behind and the fact that I have Ehlers-Danlos syndrome and my collagen is so, poor, I'm Gumby. It's extra stretchy. It makes a weird shape and pattern. You know what I'm saying? But I will show it to the internet.
And that's because it's important, I think, for people to see real bodies, not just plastic.
Well, that and because I would like to kill every last remaining shred of my ego.
Or shame. I don't know if you had any shame about that, but shame likes to hide in the shadows. And when we show the thing that we're ashamed of, like my glasses, I tell this story all the time because I legitimately had shame about wearing my glasses in the 4th grade. And I was like, I will not wear my glasses. I took the headaches instead, and eventually wearing them again and again, that shame dissipated. Now you see my glasses are part of my face.
Right. I still hate to wear my glasses, but I think that's more because they irritate the skin on my nose than anything.
Mine was pure shame. I didn't want my face
I love
to have
my
a
glasses.
weird thing.
They're hella cute.
Right.
But that's it. I think for me, it was not, it could be shame, but I do think it's largely ego. Like, that I could possibly portray that I am anything less than an absolutely real person. Like,
what do you see the ego as?
That's all the time we have for today on Therapy Unlocked. Please join us next time as we continue the conversation. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and join us as we continue the journey to unlock the mind, one conversation at a time.
What I talk about today should be taken as medical, legal, or otherwise advice. This podcast is purely for education and amusement. That is it. That's the disclaimer.